tell us a little bit about the sort of the trust issues that your character Carrie has, and how the character of Price, Gabriel Mock's character, kind of how all that comes into play with him?
She has had that moment that unfortunately I think a lot of people get, where she's trusted somebody implicitly. In fact, she's trusted this person with her life, and it has turned out that he's not been a good guy and has not been trustworthy and has put her in terrible danger, and has that horrible feeling of, therefore, what does that mean about my judgment? You know, I need to take myself out of circulation for a while I kind of figure out how that happened. And so by the time she meets Gabriel's character, she's extremely suspicious of everybody and kind of closed up as a person.
Can you talk about working with Tom Skerritt and your character's relationship with his character, Doc?
My character's really fond of his character. They're buddies. They're kind of an unlikely pair of, you know, almost best friends, I suppose, in this extremely remote place. And you know, Tom's character is the doctor out there, but is also, I mean, it's very much like he is, you know, very cerebral, loving man, and so she's the most comfortable with him, I think, out of everybody.
Okay. Now, our site IGN, we had an election in the fall, you know, to kind of tie in with the presidential election here in the States, and you beat out a number of actresses: Scarlett Johansson, Megan Fox, Jessica Alba, Jessica Biel, as our readers' favorite actress.
Oh, good grief!
And,
I thought you were going to say something awful, like you'd be
their
the
most beautiful actress that they.
That's so nice.
So we never did quite have a chance to get a reaction to you from what do you think of this? You know, of being elected IGN's
I have to
favorite.
assume that IGN must have a lot of my family members on their
I
voting
don't think
books. So that's somehow been fixed, but I'm very flattered. I thought you were going to say they voted you the person they most like to push up a building or something like that.
No,
so I'm
no.
sorry I didn't look excited in the beginning. I was waiting for that hammer to drop.
No, not at all. I wouldn't do that. Can you talk about I know the whole shoot was grueling, but was there one particular sequence that was perhaps the most challenging to try and pull off, just even physically?
The Whiteout sequences were. There was a couple, and I think it probably seems a lot more coherent in the movie when you see it. But we would go, you know, we'd turn up for this 36th day in a row, and they go, right, we're doing the Whiteout again. You didn't know what part you were doing, what bit, how it fit together, whether it was the first one, the second one. Like, you had no idea. So it was just a question of kind of get your head down, everyone yelling at you through a megaphone. You couldn't see, you couldn't hear. Every orifice was full of salt and potato flakes, and it was relentless. It just went on and on and on and on. So it did feel like you were kind of in this sort of loop, like a Sartre play or something. You never
would
get
you
out.
ever consider going back to film in conditions like that again, or is like one and done, that's enough?
I mean, I wouldn't be in a big rush to. I have extremely healthy respect for people who live in those really cold places, but I found it quite hard to work there, yeah.
Awesome. Now, I have to ask you in closing about, you know, there's talk now of an Underworld 4. Are you interested or involved in that in any way, or are you like totally done with this?
It's funny, I think this is honestly something that has started on it really truly as a rumor on an internet site, and you know, whether or not the studio is interested in making a fourth one, it's so premature in terms of my being able to comment on it. You know, I loved playing the character. You know, it was a life-changing movie for me in so many ways, but for me to want to play the character a fourth time, I would definitely need to read a script that was, you know, really extraordinary. And I'm not against it, but it's not at all at that kind of a stage as far as in my involvement.